Hey everybody, how are you? Chef Matt here with Cooper's Hawk. Emily, amazing job. I just finished making my pasta. I'm gonna give a little garnish here. This was the last part, just a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. See, I made my little Cooper's Hawk olive oil here. And amazing job, Emily. So I hope everyone had a chance to, how you doing there, Derek? Down in Florida. I hope everyone had a chance to check out the video that we did a couple days ago that I think you got yesterday, making the dish. So hope you had everything you needed in your cupboard, and really excited to have everyone here for our first virtual dinner. I know this has been a tough couple of weeks on everyone, and we are just looking for every way possible to connect with all of our wine club members and all of our guests and all the people that love coming into the restaurants. So, again, thank you so much. Hey, Julie from Kenosha. It's so cool seeing all these people come on. So, but basically what I wanted to do tonight was just really have this an open forum to discuss anything Cooper's Hawk, anything about the recipe that we shared, anything that would correspond to what Emily just talked about. I made my limoncello cocktail. We actually made some limoncello for an event that we had with our good dear friend Fabio Viviani, and I had a little bit in my freezer downstairs, so I went down there and poured myself a little. So I started out with that cocktail, and now I'm having a nice. I love our Pinot Gris, and with this dish or a Chardonnay, it's just it's so perfect. So. I hope everyone enjoyed the recipe. Deetra, how are you? Oh my gosh, so awesome. I got to wave to you here. Deetra's a longtime wine club member out there in Indy. And we're so thrilled to have you all with us. So, how you doing, Dan? Fellow neighbor? So we'll spend just maybe a couple of minutes while everyone gets on here. How you doing, Florence? Oh my gosh, Tim's gonna love this one. We missed the lobster stuffed potato skins. Well, hey, after this one, we may have to do a wine club dinner where we bring a lot of those things back. Jerry, how are you? We miss you. Hey, Christine. Hey, Sandra. This is, oh my gosh, I think this is gonna make me cry. I hope I don't cry. Anyway, so I've got a ton of family, a ton of wine club members jumping on. This is really so cool. We have a few hundred people here, and so just anything you want to know about the dish that we just had, anything you want to know about our restaurants, our company as a whole, what's going on. I think you can. We're putting things out daily on our website, letting you know what's happening with our staff. How you doing, Jason? Thanks for joining us. Hey, Jacqueline. Oh my gosh. So many. Yeah, the carbonara can be a little fickle. Actually, the cacio pepe, the cacio pepe can be a little fickle, but it is one of those dishes that's just so simple. But we all know simple sometimes can be a little difficult. So we can walk through the recipe again tonight as more people get on, and again, ask away. We're here for as long as we need to be. But I was telling somebody the other day, I actually made this dish a couple of weeks ago. I love eating this in really classic Italian restaurants. There's some restaurants that do an amazing job. And hey, Deetra, I just saw that note. We're gonna get you some Riesling Gewürztraminer. I think we can find some. Don't worry, we're gonna find some for you. I love that. But it's one of those dishes that it literally has just a few ingredients, as I showed in the video. And it, classically, they typically don't use butter. I like to use a little bit of butter and olive oil, because I think they go really well together. But just cooking that beautiful pasta, we get our bucatini. It's from the Collezione collection from one of our partners, which is Barilla, and they use these cutting dies that are made from an old metal material. So they have this beautiful texture to them, and they really hold the sauce well. So that's what I made it with tonight. Literally, I had a half a box left, and our folks from Barilla brought me some other pastas to show you all. But really, this dish can be made with anything that you have in your cupboard. Whether it's, I have some gemelli here. So this is awesome with gemelli. It can be made with rigatoni. It can be made with penne. It really doesn't matter. So, but again, so now we're starting to really get some numbers here. So ask away. Anything that you want to talk about would be great. First question: how the butternut squash in the gnocchi? How, let's see, what was this question? How to get the butternut squash in the gnocchi. So we have a butternut squash gnocchi on our menu. So we roast that with a little bit of butter, a little bit of chicken stock, some ginger, and some herbs, a little bit of rosemary in the oven, super slowly until it basically turns into like almost mashed potatoes. And we mash it and we add it to the top of the gnocchi right at the end with just a little bit of white truffle oil. So super simple. Next question. One ingredient you always have in your pantry. Well, I'm never without kosher salt because I think it's the best, salt every day to use. But I would say for my entire career, the one ingredient that I never am without is mushroom soy. And mushroom soy is one of those ingredients. It's made from shiitake mushrooms, and I use it to put very sparingly on poultry, on beef. It's more for coloring things and kind of filling in the cracks with seasoning. So I love to use it on steaks. I love to use it on poultry, roasting a chicken. But one of my wonderful mentors, Bruce Cost, really introduced me to that product, and that is, I would say, one ingredient that I never like to be without. So. How do you keep the cheese from melting into globs when making the sauce? Okay, great question. As you can see mine, if you see here, it's literally melted in. The microplane, and I have two. This is my original. This is my super heavy duty. It's so old, you can see it actually is cracked, but I still use it. So yeah, this, I have a ton of tools, but the microplane is the most important tool to have when using the cheese for this sauce because it makes it so super fine that when if you add it all at once, it will glob up on you. But if you very gently just put it on the top, toss it, add a little bit more, and toss it, it won't glob up on you, okay? Any changes to the menu when we all come back to enjoy? Well, I will tell you, there have obviously been a lot of wine club events and dinners that we've had to cancel. But I assure you that we are, we were right in the midst of a really wonderful chef recommendation in March, and then some really interesting things for April. We're always planning. I have a wonderful team of chefs that I work with on a regular basis. And we had an amazing runway of events and things, but we will continue to do wonderful things. And as a leadership team and as a chef team, we will continue to figure out, as we get a date of when we will be back online in all the restaurants. I assure you, we will really come back with some fun things to do for everyone. So stay tuned. Question from Lisa. How can you make this dish lighter? That's a great question. So 100% take the butter out. You can 100% take the butter out. The butter I love, I always use, when I use butter in dishes like this, I love to use Kerrygold or Plugrin. I use unsalted because obviously we have a lot of salt in the pasta. Well, I do want to talk about the salt for this dish. We'll do that a little bit later, but lighter, literally, the sauce is pasta water, so it does have a good amount of salt, but all you need is the olive oil. The olive oil really helps to emulsify this, helps to melt the cheese, so that's how I would make it lighter. I love your Mary's potatoes. How are they made? This is from Mark McPhee. Mark, I'm going to tell you, there's no secret to our potatoes. We use a blend of Yukon Gold and red potatoes, and we steam them, and we have literally hand mashers. They're not machine done, because a machine, what happens when you put any kind of product that has a lot of gluten in it, so potatoes can get very gummy and sticky. We hand mash these with a little bit of cream, maybe a little bit more than a little bit of cream, butter, olive oil, which helps to keep it from getting sticky, a little bit of kosher salt and black pepper, and that's it. It's the same way I make them at home. So the thing I love about potatoes, kind of like this dish, which we may get to, hopefully we'll get to, but cooking is about method and technique. So once you learn, I had a wonderful teacher. His name was, he passed away a few years ago, but his name was Larry Smith. And Larry Smith, when I was 18 years old, taught us about method and technique. Excuse me, I've got to drink a little bit of water because I'm talking so fast. But to me, when I teach people how to cook, I love to teach from a place of method and technique. Because once you learn a method and technique, whether it's for a sauce or learning how to cook a chicken or a beautiful pasta like this, once you master something as simple like this, you can start to put your own spin on it. So mashed potatoes, every year I have somewhere between 40 to 60 people that come to my house for Thanksgiving. And I never like to make the mashed potatoes the same every year. So sometimes I'll put Parmesan cheese and roasted garlic, and sometimes I'll put some sage in it, or sometimes I'll put, another cheese. But I like to make them pretty simple for my family. But again, that's pretty much how we make it. Okay. My friend Deetra, I love my friend Deetra out in Indianapolis. You cook with love. Yes. My whole career, I've used that term with all the cooks that I've ever trained, all the chefs that I've ever trained. That is your number one ingredient, my friend. Deetra, thank you so much for saying that. And it really is. We've built a company with our entire team that is very, very different from a lot of restaurant companies out there. And we do teach our chefs and our cooks to cook with love. And that is one of the ingredients, especially at a time like this, that truly makes the difference. And we look for ingredients, and we look for partners that share that same philosophy with us. I love to talk about the Ramosi family in Franklin Park here that makes our gnocchi for us by hand. These beautiful ricotta gnocchi. The Sartori family. If you saw about a month ago. Our videographer Mike Paprocki and I were up in Wisconsin and filming how the cheese is made, because we did a special or a chef recommendation last month for lunch called Sartori chicken. That's basically some pounded chicken with that beautiful Sarvecchio Parmesan cheese, which I'm featuring here in this beautiful dish tonight. So. Ingredients really matter, and relationships really matter to us. So thank you very much. A question from Nicole. My mom wants to know when there may be another CH cookbook. Well, I'll tell you, it's not on the plans, but after an event like this, you never know. We may write a book about how we all got through this as a team. So. Tom, maybe let's put that on the agenda. Tim, sorry that I put us up for that. But hey, who knows? The purpose behind that book was we have so many fantastic relationships with different chefs that we worked with and winemakers that we thought for our anniversary it was time for us to document all that, and for Tim to tell the story of Cooper's Hawk. So you never know. You never know what's going to happen. So thank you so much. This is from a nurse on her day off. Hey, I just want to say, hey, God bless, and thank you so much to all the first responders out there for everything that you do. I know we all have a lot of family members, and we're all touched every day by all of the people out there that are fighting this fight on the front lines for us. So on her day off, thank you for bringing my favorite restaurant to my living room. This is from Heather. Heather, thank you so much, and I will tell you that we're not done. We're going to do. We've been brainstorming around the clock with the marketing team and the chef team and our leadership team about ways that we can stay connected with all of you, all of our wine club members out there. So so thank you so much for that. We really appreciate it. So time for a sip of wine. Is the CH Cookbook still available is one of the questions. I believe it still is. You check out the restaurants. Another place is always Hassan, who kind of runs our member and guest services team. If you check in with them, check in the restaurants. I believe we still may have some, so appreciate that. Where's the link to the demo? We just got one question about the link to the demo. So on the CH Winery, actually, if you look, Ray is doing an amazing job. She just popped that up again. So if you go to the Cooper's Hawk Winery and Restaurants page on Facebook, you should be able to join right there. Okay. Is Carryout? So Kim Washer just asked, is Carryout coming soon? So this may be a very beautiful time to talk about that. So, it was very tough for us. We closed all of our restaurants. I can't even remember. I know this is Sunday, and there's been a lot of funny things on Facebook about what day is it. So I know it's Sunday. And we closed all of our restaurants. A few days later, we got our team together and we opened our tasting rooms back up, and we got a team together, and to let you know that we will be opening all of our restaurants tomorrow, except for Fort Lauderdale, which doesn't have an outside entrance to the mall that we're in. But all of our restaurants, starting tomorrow at lunch, will be open for carryout. Okay, so come see us. Take care of each other. Take care of your team. Remember social distancing. We have amazing team members that we're working on getting back to work, and some hourly team members. So stay tuned. You will get some notices on social media, and you'll get some emails. But Irma, woohoo! Yeah, we're really excited too. So we will have a condensed menu. I can't tell you everything off the top of my head, but I know we had a lot of the items that you've been talking about, your favorites, will be on there. That was the intent, but slowly but surely we will start to increase the menu. But yes, we will be starting carryout tomorrow. So okay. Next question: what's my favorite dish to make, and what wine do you pair it with? This is from Elizabeth. My favorite dish to make. If I had a nickel for every time I've been asked that question, my favorite thing to make. I honestly don't have a favorite thing to make. I do have a favorite thing to eat, which we can talk about another time. I don't eat it all the time because I'd be 500 pounds. But my favorite thing to make literally is, I sent an email to some of our team members, and I just said, when this is all over, I want to have everyone over to the house, and I just want to cook. So my favorite thing to do is when I go to I love to go to farmers markets, because that represents the freshest possible food I can get. So I love going there. If it's summer, I love the summertime with tomatoes and burrata cheese and some sliced prosciutto or salamis and things like that. And I just love bringing people together. That's what we do at Cooper's Hawk. We love bringing people together and creating community. So that's. And I actually don't even tend to eat when people are here. I usually tend to eat after everybody has been fed and everybody has a cocktail. I'm getting better at that, but to me, it's so important to bring people together and feed people. That has been my life mission for a very long time, and that's what we continue to do with Cooper's Hawk. So thank you. What wine are you drinking from, Diane? Diane, I'm drinking Pinot Gris. Every time I'm with Emily, we go out, and I'm like, hey, Emily, what are you going to have? She's like, Pinot Gris. And so I started doing the same thing. There's a lot of chefs that I admire. I obviously admire Emily a ton and love to learn from her. I've learned a ton from her over the years that we've been working together. And I've really learned to love Pinot Gris, so that's what I'm drinking tonight, because it's so awesome with this pasta. I am, I think a lot of guys are red wine drinkers. I'm actually a white wine drinker. I love white wines. I love the beauty of California Chardonnays. I love beautiful Sauvignon Blancs. So that's what I like to drink. So thank you. Will there be a limited carryout menu? So that's one of the questions. Absolutely. There will be a limited one, but you all know how large our menu is. So even the limited menu that we have, I believe, has over 30 items on it. So we have a couple sandwiches, we have a couple chicken dishes, we have a couple steaks, gnocchi. Actually, all of our risottos will be available. We wanted to be thoughtful. We wanted to give a variety, and we also wanted to have some vegetarian items as well as some gluten-free options. So, yeah, I think it's a really well thought out smaller menu that the team can execute that we'll be able to do for all of our guests. So thank you for that question. Okay. So I have a question from Paulina. What is my favorite farmer's market? Well, I live in Glenview, north of Chicago, so I love to support that farmer's market. But hands down, I love to go to the farmers market at Lincoln Park on Saturday mornings. I used to take my dog down there sometimes. I would take my son. It's a lot of fun, and it's a huge farmers market. So the Green City Market, big shout out to them. There's no greater support that we could give at this point in time, if you can afford, than to support obviously local restaurants, ours and smaller ones, but any farmers. I sent a couple boxes of produce from Chef Farmer Lee. Farmer Lee is a farmer that is from Ohio that does amazing things for a lot of our specialty dinners, and when to think about the gravity of how far this pandemic is reaching, it's almost hard to believe when you really start to think. It's like, yes, our restaurants have closed and we've been working through that, but then it's the farmers and it's all the people that we get food from. It's just incredible. So thanks for that. Definitely Green City Market. So I can be a little verbose in my answers. What are the inspirations for the dishes that you create? This is from Carrie Norris. That's a great question. When I get asked about how I think about our menu and how I think about food, I tell people that those inspirations come from everywhere. Sometimes it's from me and my team. Sometimes it's from Tim. A lot of the times it's from Tim. There's a dish that we just put on the menu. Hope Tim doesn't get embarrassed here. I know he's watching, but there was an appetizer that I hope everybody, when we open, please, everyone needs to order the chopped deviled eggs and toast. So, but that dish, that literally, he's at a restaurant and texts me this really grainy picture, and I tell this internally, but now I'm going to tell it to a ton of people on Facebook. He texts me this picture and says, "Hey, I had this appetizer. It wasn't very good. However, it's a really cool idea, and I know you and the team will make it amazing." And we did. And about a couple of years after he had sent me that picture, it went on the menu, and it is incredible. It's so incredible. I will not go out of my way for deviled eggs, but I will way go out of my way for this chopped deviled eggs and toast. So make sure you have that when we get back open, okay? It's not on the small menu for the next couple of weeks because it's got a lot of ingredients. So Debbie, thank you for the call out. Debbie loves the eggs and toast. So thank you. Florence wanted me to let you know so that carryout menu will be posted on our website. Okay, thank you. So this is from Tom Giovenco. Did you go to culinary school or are you self-taught? Keep up the great work. Tom, thank you so much. I was 18 years old, and right out of high school, I went into culinary school. I didn't even take the summer off, and I went to Kendall College in Evanston. So that is where I started, and I began working at a catering company. I did my internship at Le Francais. It was a 4-star French restaurant in Wheeling. Did a small amount of work at where was that place? I forgot. In Highwood. Carlos. Actually, that's where I started, in Carlos. And then I went to Le Francais and worked with Roland Liccioni. And I've had some amazing mentors over the years. And in '93, I began working with Let Us Entertain You. And I like to say that's where I got my master's degree in restaurant. So not only food, but I spent 15 years with the Let Us Entertain You restaurant group. And then I joined Tim. We had 4 restaurants actually when I started in 2010, I believe. It's been almost 10 years I've been with the company. So yeah, amazing career. So thank you. Next question from Sandra. Chef, can you tell me a little more about how you're feeding team members? You know, one of the things that, oh wow. So one of the things that was very important to Tim and that was very important to the rest of the team at Cooper's Hawk was that we knew this was going to have an incredible impact throughout our brand and our people. So immediately we said, hey, what are we going to do to make sure that our people, if this really gets bad, we want to make sure our people are fed. So we started a plan very quickly, and literally within 2 days we had a plan, got it out to our teams, and I will tell you, we have the most amazing chefs and managers in our restaurants that took this ball. And I just had a question. Are you okay? I keep coughing. I don't have the virus. I'm good. When I teach or when I speak in public and I talk this fast, I have to drink a lot of water. So I got to make sure I keep drinking water. But I'm good. I'm so good. So we got a plan together and started feeding our teams. And we have over 5,000 team members throughout all of our restaurants. And we are feeding all of our team members. I know there's been a lot of Facebook and a lot of actually news picking this up. And that's not why we're doing this. We're doing it because we care about our people. We so care about our people. We want to make sure that all of our team members and their families are well taken care of. So the chefs and the managers of the restaurants are just killing it and just doing an amazing job doing what we do, which is taking care of our guests and taking care of our people and feeding them. So every couple of days they're coming in, picking up food for their families and themselves, and we're just going to continue to do that. So, but I also want to call out some amazing, we have amazing vendors who we have had give us some products. So I just don't want to call out Get Fresh, which is our produce company here in Chicago, Cisco in Florida, Pete Testa, actually is a neighbor who lives in Glenview, has donated a lot of product for us. And, hey, we're all in this together. And I can't be more thrilled and more proud of the vendors that we have and our managers in the field. So thank you. You can only have one cheese in your fridge for the rest of your life. What do you pick? Well, I tell you, a year ago, this would have been a tough question. However, I do love Parmesan cheese. God, there's so many cheeses I love. But there is one cheese that has just stolen my heart over the last year, and that is a cheese from Sartoria, Wisconsin, called Montemore. They have the most amazing cheesemaker that I got to spend some time with, and she's a woman, Pam. And this cheese, I asked her a question. We were doing our demo together, or we were doing our filming, and I said, when I eat this cheese, or when I serve this cheese in my house, people say, what is it? And I always say, it's kind of like Parmesan cheese, and it's kind of like a aged white cheddar. And I said, how do you describe it? And she said to me, it's Montemore. And I was like, okay, I get it. I'm like, that was the most brilliant answer she could have given, because what they want this cheese to really stand on its own. It's a newer cheese that they have developed, but it is spectacular, and it is available now in retail. So I would say if there was one cheese I can't live without, and these days it is Montemore. So yeah, John, it's my favorite cheese from Wisconsin too. So but I also want to go back to this pasta. I use a blend of the Sorvecchio Parm and Pecorino Romano. So Pecorino Romano, it's higher in acid. It has a lot more. Mel, remind me about the Brussels sprouts. Somebody said something about Brussels sprouts I want to come back to. It's a those two cheeses together are like a nice little dance for this dish. And the Pecorino has a little bit more salt in it. It's a beautiful cheese. But you can make this dish. Again, I come back to that method and technique. I made this dish. The second time I made it, I actually finely shaved some Italian ham and or Italian bacon, and sauteed that with the black pepper and the butter. And oh my gosh, that was wonderful. You could, there's so many grocery stores you can go to and get a roasted chicken and just pull the meat apart and add that at the end with the sauce. So, there's so many things you can do once you learn how to make one thing. So I do want to talk about Brussels sprouts. The Brussels sprouts, for those that you don't know, the crispy Brussels sprouts have become our #1 selling appetizer. How crazy is that? That Cooper's Hawk, I will say Cooper's Hawk, we should be in the Guinness Book of World Records, I think. Cooper's Hawk sells more Brussels sprouts probably than any restaurant on the planet. And it really is, I think those flavors really strike a chord with the Southeast Asian flavors that we have there. So, oh boy, I can't remember if we put that on the menu. Oh, if we didn't, I'm so sorry, but you'll have to come as soon as we open the doors, okay? So, a couple of questions. Jessica, this is my cousin, Jessica Sanders. Are y'all gonna offer family style meals as part of your takeout? So, hey Jess, how are you, dear? We actually were not going to do family style to start. We'll see if we need to add that. Our menu's pretty big, but I will say watch for maybe something for Easter. So. Can I use any pasta for cacio? Oh, this is from a good friend of mine. Any pasta you can use for cacio. I saw like a half-open box of orzo in there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I would love to make this dish with orzo. It's almost like making it like risotto, right? So yeah, any pasta. The beauty of using a pasta like this. I'm going to wolf this down too when we're done. I'm hungry. The beauty of a pasta like this is all the surface area, right, that the pasta has. So I wouldn't probably do this with like really fine angel hair because you've got to just hit it just right. So it could overcook. But any pasta, like over here I have some penne, right? Penne would work good. Gamelle, any great pasta is going to work just fine. So literally, just practice. I implore you to just practice a dish like this, because these dishes that have very few ingredients, they can have some nuances to them, but they're fantastic. They're such fantastic dishes. So. Let's maybe a couple more questions. Favorite thing to make on the grill? This is from Jill. We grill a lot, and I love salmon. So there's a grocery store very close to us, Fresh Farms, and they have the most amazing Scottish organic salmon. So I love grilling salmon. I love grilling steaks. I love grilling vegetables. If it's 20 below out, I'm grilling outside. People think I'm crazy. But do love to grill. So, hey, I think we're gonna wrap up. So, all of you, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Look for more that we're going to do and offer over the days and weeks to come. Thank you so much. On behalf of Tim and me and the whole leadership team, we're so thankful for all of you out there. So come check us out for Carryout. Grab your wine. Remember, we're going to start. We will start Carryout tomorrow at lunch. So take care of our team members out there. Take care of yourselves. Remember social distancing, and look for some more fun things to come for us from Cooper's Hawk. Thank you very much. Take care.